Here is Representative Elise Stefanik. She, of course, is still sort of like, I think in her back of her mind, she's thinking maybe she will be majority leader at one point or minority leader. She made her decision at one. I mean, am I mistaken? But like, what was it? 4 or 5 years ago, she was like the reasonable Republican.
Oh yeah, that was her brand.
That was her brand. That's how she got elected in New York State.
And now she's now in this clip we're about to watch. She's literally dispatching from Israel because she just spoke in front of the Knesset this past weekend.
Oh right, the anti-Semitism knower Elise Stefanik.
The thing to understand about Republicans is that they know where their voters are. There is no reasonable Republicans anymore. That doesn't exist. I mean, to the extent that there were ever, I'm just talking about the way that is defined by the people who are desperate for there to be reasonable Republicans. They want Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan was a serial liar and, frankly, not very bright, who kept pushing various lies ranging from, I met a small child at a school who said, I would rather have no lunch than have to get a free lunch here because I just want a brown bag. And it wasn't even his story. And it was, first of all, it was made up. And it wasn't even he who made it up. He adopted it from some other right-winger in Wisconsin. But all of his Laffer curve stuff was all BS. All of his deficit stuff, it was all BS.
Ayn Rand fanfic.
That was the reasonable Republican. And they don't even pretend that anymore because they realize, like, what's the point? And here is Representative Stefanik after speaking before the Israeli Knesset. And I just want to be clear that the idea of like a congressperson going and speaking at a legislative of any foreign country when their president was not of their same party, it would be like a scam. Like if the Democrat, go ahead.
Leadership. I want to talk to you about the Veep stakes. Your name is continually thrown out as being on the short list potentially, that this trip may be part of an audition.
Is
the New
it
York Times
really?
had a lengthy
No.
piece where
Oh my gosh, no, what, oh, really? No.
Oh no, this whole thing where I've decided I'm going to haul university presidents in front of Congress and smear them and say that even if they're not doing enough, like cracking skulls of kids, like, as in the case of Columbia, that they're in some way anti-Semitic, that this has like, it's not, there's a self-serving purpose involved here, huh?
Oh yeah, no way. I mean, this has nothing to do with the fact that Christy Nome killed her dog. Go back.
leadership. I want to talk to you about the Veep stakes. Your name is continually thrown out as being on the short list potentially, that this trip may be part of an audition. The New York Times had a lengthy piece where they talk about your transformation, they say, from somebody who was not supportive of President Trump to somebody who is full-throatedly supportive of him. They say you called him a whack job at one point, and they add this. In August 2015, she told a New York radio station that he was insulting to women and that his candidacy would hurt the party's efforts to attract female voters. According to her former friends, they continue, she thought Mr. Trump was too awful and ridiculous to be taken seriously. Her revisionism still shocks those who have known her the longest and who remember the disdain she expressed for Mr. Trump back then. So the question is when, more importantly, why did you change your mind about President Trump?
Well, Shannon, it's a disgrace that you would quote the New York Times with nameless, faceless,
but they're
false
quoting your
sources.
Friends, so I'm giving you a chance to respond to
that. Shannon, they're not quoting my friends. Those names are not included because they are false smears. I was attacked.
To be fair, there are a number of names of people. Just to be fair, there are a number of names of people who are quoted in the article.
Shannon, let me
people can read it for themselves.
This is a false smear, and let me tell you a fact, Shannon. In 2016, I was attacked as the only elected Republican from the Northeast who voted for President Trump. Democrats spent hundreds of thousands of dollars attacking me for that fact. So to say that I didn't support
hold on one second. Just hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yeah, that's like 3 minutes in Truth Social time.
Oh my gosh, that's our burn rate at Truth Social.
I mean, so sometimes they're performing rage in order to say fake news, but I think she's genuinely so pissed because she knows Trump is going to see this.
Oh.
This is all it is, right?
Oh no, she is definitely pissed. She knows that J.D. Vance probably is good good friends with Bream
Right.
or somebody like that, basically knocking off the next one. And she's pissed because she just got sandbagged with her own words. Clearly fictional. Absolutely. In fact, I wonder if you could go back and find a single instance where she has said before that this was a smear, even though it's been out there for 8 years. Now that you mentioned it, I've been saying for a long time, that's a smear.
I mean, you don't even need to take her friend's word for it. She said things about his misogyny to Megyn Kelly in 2015. I think he's been insulting to women. She called it insulting. Pop-up just came up.
Bream probably doesn't want to talk about Megyn Kelly either.
But
let's go.
Let's keep going.
I was attacked as the only elected Republican from the Northeast who voted for President Trump. Democrats spent hundreds of thousands of dollars attacking me for that fact. So to say that I didn't support him is just false. I have been proud to be one of the strongest supporters, going back to when he ran for 2016, which was when it was my first reelection to the House. I have strongly supported him. He is going to be the next president of the United States. The American people know that. My constituents know that. And I'm proud to be one of his strongest allies in Congress. I have always put my district first, New York 21 first, and America first. And this is an opportunity for us to stop the failures of Joe Biden and elect a president who led to a booming economy, a strong national security. But my record speaks for itself, Shannon.
But let me ask
my
you.
record stands for itself.
Let me ask you, though, because they quote you on a radio station calling him insulting to women.
There we go.
Is that a misquote? Did you not say that?
I said the statement that the Democrats leaked out in 2016, that was insulting. However, Shannon, I stood by and supported him.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm last.
Hold on. I'm trying to think what she just said.
The statement?
Let's go back on the tape and see. She said this on the radio?
That's not to
Hold
unnamed
on.
friend,
Wait
Shannon.
a second. Shit. Wait, what? She said it on the radio? Okay, let's play this again. Let me just give her one more chance to explain.
What happened in 2015 on the radio?
Say that?
I said the statement that the Democrats leaked out in 2016, that was insulting. However, Shannon, I stood by
Okay,
and
pause
supported him,
it.
and
She said that the statement that she said that the Democrats leaked that out was insulting.
By Democrats, she means New York radio station.
Yeah.
But what part was insulting? She said on air that if you leak this broadcast to anyone, it's insulting. I don't get it. Why didn't they play the audio? For God's sakes?
exactly.
All right, go back a little bit. I want to hear her say that again because that is like some Howard Schultz level of delusion there.
She's delusional even if she thinks Trump's going to pick a New York Republican for woman, I think, for his VP spot. That's not happening. He's not picking another New Yorker. Yeah. He's going to pick somebody from a different part of the country.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and if she's a woman, she has to be a 10.
That's the problem.
She's not hot enough for him.
They quote you on a radio station calling him insulting to women.
Fake smile, fake smile. Did you
not say that?
Smile.
I said the statement that the Democrats leaked out in 2016, that was insulting. However, Shannon, I stood by and supported him, and I strongly support him. And he has done so much to promote women in senior positions, as well as promote women's economic opportunity that we experienced under the 4 years of his administration. So I've been proud to support him. It's a disgrace that you would take a New York Times article and just read negative quotes when the reality was I was the only Republican elected woman from the Northeast who voted for him in 2016, who has strongly supported him, and I'm proud to be one of his strongest allies today.
Okay, we know where you are today. Folks can go read that article for themselves. There are plenty of names, people who went on the record.
Fake smile. Look at what's happening to her face.
Clearly, you are supportive of him now, and we will track and follow where
Pause it. Hold on. Go back just a second.
I mean,
what is going on there? She's having a stroke.
She really is.
Isn't she? She's having a stroke.
I wish we had a higher quality video so we could see her eye twitch, which has to be happening right now.
Oh my gosh! Literally, I do feel like
she's sticking tacks in her palms right now.
Either her right eye has moved up an inch onto her face, her left eye has dropped by about a quarter inch during the course of this interview.
She's literally melting in front of her eyes.
Oh my God! And that fake smile. Make sure you smile. Make sure you smile. Make sure you smile. Go ahead.
We'll leave it there. Clearly, you are supportive of him now, and we will track and follow where you are on the campaign trail.
I was supportive of him then, Shannon, in 2016, as you know. So I hope we will tell the viewers that as well, which I voted for him in 2016 and was attacked for doing so.
Congresswoman, we always appreciate your time. Safe travels.
Thanks, Val.
In interviews during the 2016 presidential primary, Stefanik said Trump would not become the GOP nominee for president in one August.
Missed it by that much.
In her freshman year as
but that was a leak, right?
She said she believed Trump should release his tax returns, which he never did. She did not endorse any candidate during the primary and also did not invoke Trump by name, though she did say she would support the Republican nominee. Trump, I remember.
She's pissed. I really enjoyed that.
It's all collapsing for her. Who is it going to be?
Wouldn't it be fun to...
I think it's going to be J.D. Vance.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be fun if she loses her seat, too? Like, these... Also, New York Republicans have got to be a little bit worried.
Yep. She's not a 10. So... I think J.D. Vance... if I had to guess, I would think it would be J.D. Vance. I mean, the only reason why Trump wouldn't... I mean, it could be Burgum to make Trump look younger, but I don't.
And the one thing that recommends Burgum, but I guess it sort of recommends Vance too. But Burgum is extremely wealthy. He is so rich.
Just to remind people where he got his money from, it was selling a business to Bill Gates.
And I guess he comes off a little more unassuming, right?
No, he's like aw shucksy a little bit, Burgum.
Yeah.
Like and he's really rich.
I mean, Odds Checker has the odds. You want to guess who's first? Burgum.
Yeah.
Burgumentum, then Tulsi Gabbard, J.D. Vance is after at plus 1,000, Marco Rubio
I like
next.
the way you tore your ACL ahead of the debate.
And Stefanik is last.
He's a brave guy.
I would not take that money on Stefanik.
I mean, they're going to look at the polling and they're going to see if he needs like the God Squad.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to be a big a push. But I don't know who's out there right now who represents that. But I can't imagine he picks Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, it's possible, but I just find it hard to believe.
I don't think so. It would be the funniest thing to ever happen because she's also just a bad politician. But that would be bad for the God Squad people because they just look into the whole Hindu element or her upbringing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
She's got a lot of skeletons in her closet. 'Cause she came up in a cult and also like then staffed her like congressional staff with members of that cult. So.
Yeah, I think that's just unlikely. I just think like J.D. Vance appeals to the business wing of the Republican Party. He can sort of play both sides there where he can pretend like he is sort of the Paul Ryan type of figure. I mean, that's the thing that people didn't understand about Mike Pence. Mike Pence, dumb as dirt. Apparently he's written the foreword of like this Christian conservative book from Australia. And in the foreword, he says, he's often spent time praying and thinking about how Australians helped the U.S. fight the Nazis in World War I. And with all due respect to the Australians and to the Americans and to everyone who's ever lived, we did not fight the Nazis in World War I. It did not happen because they didn't exist at that time. But Mike Pence not only was probably prior to Mike Johnson, the most powerful theocrat ever elected to office in this country, he also was deeply immersed in the Koch brothers world. He was huge, like AFP financed.
Right.
And the other thing that Pence had is, people don't realize this, he was a right-wing talk radio host before he was elected governor of Indiana.
And columnist too.
Yes. You always get that you get that sinecure. I mean, that's how they subsidize those guys. And he was deeply unpopular in Indiana when he was chosen as VP. I mean, I think his approval rating was like a 40%, but he could speak to the Christian conservatives. Now, Trump may feel at this point like he doesn't need that extra help with those people because he's got them.
And he might be literally doing, ironically, the RFK method of who can finance my campaign. Although it seems like he's not having trouble raising money.
The Republicans outraised the DNC this.
Keep doing those fundraisers with Haim Saban, Biden, or it's going to work out for you.
It's mostly, I think, probably the fundraising element would be like the getting more money to offset the legal expenses.
Yes, right.
I am looking more for someone who has a bunch of lawyers. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.